In recent years, In-N-Out pop-ups have been showing up all over the world, but In-N-Out has no intention of opening up locations in any of these cities or countries. So why is that? I used to live in Berlin, Germany, and was taken by surprise when one of my friends messaged me one day telling me that he spotted In-N-Out in Berlin. Being from Los Angeles, I'm already aware of how particular In-N-Out can be in terms of where they open new restaurants, and remember how big of a deal it was when they were opening a new location in Nevada, which is only one state over from California. So I was immediately skeptical of this Berlin In-N-Out, but after seeing a few photos, it looked identical to In-N-Out that I remembered from growing up. And I remembered seeing something similar to this pop up in Asia a few years back and not being so sure about that either. But after doing a little research online, I was able to determine that the Berlin In-N-Out pop-up was real and that these pop-ups happen all over the globe more commonly than I ever would have guessed. They were each only open one day for about 3 to 4 hours with a very limited menu and a very limited amount of burgers they were willing to sell. They also operate on a first-come, first-served basis, with tickets being handed out to the first 100 or so people in line. Once all the people holding tickets get their burgers, they close up shop and don't show back up again for at least a year. Obviously, there's much more demand than just a few hundred burgers given these massive lines, but it doesn't seem like they're doing this to make profit. It must be market research, or they're looking to open a location in the city at some point, right? Not so much. According to In-N-Out themselves, they never plan to open more than 300 miles away from their distribution centers in California and Texas because they don't freeze their beef. So maybe they're opening up these pop-ups to maintain that exclusivity that's made them a household name across the world, or maybe they're trying to maintain that status as a tourist stop for people coming to California or other states that have In-N-Out. I mean, there's a reason there's an In-N-Out within walking distance of Los Angeles International Airport. This theory is definitely a bit closer, but in reality, it all comes down to how seriously In-N-Out takes their intellectual property. In-N-Out has been known to sue even the smallest of businesses in the US and abroad if they see anything remotely resembling their brand. They've sued multiple restaurants in Australia, such as In-N-Out Aussie Burger for using an ampersand instead of an N, Down and Out, which is a single burger restaurant opened by an Australian pub. They've sued Cali Burgers, which first popped up in Shanghai and has locations all throughout Asia, and in the US have sued Smashburger over the name of a burger and Dahlin Burger over the look of their restaurants, just to name a few. Although the lawsuits to some are seen as a bit over the top, at least in the US it makes sense. In-N-Out only operates in the US, so they have the legal bounds to sue any company they think is infringing their trademarks. But how is In-N-Out able to go after mom and pop burger shops that they find abroad to be infringing their trademarks? Well, one trademark complaint against In-N-Out gives some serious insight into just that, and I think you might have an idea of where this is going. In 2019, the very popular coffee chain Tim Hortons in Canada requested a review of In-N-Out's trademark of the term double double. Now, to In-N-Out, double double is a double cheeseburger. To Tim Hortons, it's 2 creams and 2 sugars in a coffee. The Canadian Intellectual Property Office, however, has concluded that In-N-Out has been actively using the trademark and therefore can continue to use it because of their pop-ups in Toronto. Here's a direct quote from Timothy Stevenson, who's a member of the Trademarks Opposition Board in Canada on the matter. In addition to using its cookout trucks in certain locations in the United States, the owner, In-N-Out Burger, has also used its cookout trucks to sell food products in Canada for many years. And that, my friends, is the key. In most countries, they require that a business actually operates within their country in order to maintain their trademarks. And operate, In-N-Out does. It just happens to be for one day, for a couple hours, maybe once every year or so. But that's how they maintain their intellectual property around the world. I'm curious to hear, what do you guys think? Do you think In-N-Out is gaming the system? Or are you just happy that In-N-Out maybe kind of shows up every once in a great while in your city or country? So let me know below, and we'll see you next time.